What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Litecoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Okay, here we are, sitting at the 123 level right now. 5 days, 23 hours left in this week. Last week, again, nice 17% move up. We're down about 1.93% to start the week off. It's not a bad thing at all. We could move a little bit lower. It's possible. We could. Maybe down to about 117, find support there, maybe even a little bit lower to these weekly areas where you found resistance before, where you found resistance here. Find it at 115, 117, maybe not. Maybe you don't go down. Maybe just move up from here. Let's look at the daily time frame. Actually, first, weekly RSI. Weekly RSI looks good. Yeah, I like this consolidation. You're about to rip. You really are about to rip. This week, next week, the weeks after, it's going to be phenomenal. 3 days. Also looking good with the lower lows and the higher lows in the price, right? Higher lows here, a bit of a flat top, higher lows. I know the wicks got lower lows, but the lows I'm talking about when regarding the RSI are the closing points on the candle. So higher lows on the closing points, lower lows on the RSI. That's hidden bullish divergence and likely marks continuation. Continuation of what? The uptrend. Continuation of the uptrend. So continuation being if we have a high here, you have a low here, you're going to form a higher high and then a higher low and then a higher high. That's continuation. You know what I mean? So although it might not look exactly like this, it might be more off the charts here. We're probably going to go up higher and then come back down, but we'll see. 3-day time frame definitely looks good. It looks like we're about to break out. That's all I'm trying to say. Weekly time frame agrees. 3-day time frame agrees. If we take this, the next likely area probably by the end of February would be something around 170 bucks or higher. I very much do expect that Litecoin is at new relative highs of this cycle by the end of February. That, by the way, would give you, you got 2 days. You basically have a full 3 days left in this 3-day candle. So this candle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not even 5, 4 3-day periods left. Anybody? That's 12 days, right? 12 days for 170 or higher, all right? Going into March, I suspect that, of course, we will be at higher prices. We will excel through $200, going above $235 and landing somewhere around $300, if not at least above $250 is my thoughts. The reason why I think this is that if we zoom out a little bit more on the monthly time frame, we take the last cycle high to the bear cycle low that happened in June of 2022. We look at how we're consolidating in the fibs. You found resistance at this 382 time and time again. Now you're finding support on it. I would expect, just based off of this, that you don't stop at the golden ratio. You probably stop at the 786, 886 area or beyond, right? And I'm very inclined to believe that you do stop somewhere between 318 and 413. You really could hit $400 by the end of this move. There's a couple of charts this cycle that they've been in similar consolidation phases, and when they break out, they return to the top, the very top of the range, right? XRP and XLM are good examples of that. Litecoin being one of these legacy coins that's also consolidated for multiple cycles, dinosaur coin, a zombie coin, whatever you want to call it, likely, the only place to stop at least from what I can see with my eyes, you got a monthly closing basis here from 2 cycles ago. You got a monthly closing basis here, and then other than that, it's the highs themselves. And this cycle's high comes just below that 786. That doesn't make sense to me from a relative fib perspective, so we can throw that out. This one, that makes sense because it's between the 786 and the 886, so that's acceptable. I think 271 might be a good minimal target to achieve by the end of March. If not, I'm actually strongly inclined to believe that we see prices around 318 to 413, somewhere around $300 to $400 by the end of March. And then continuing into April, May, I would expect that we do see prices up above at new all-time highs. It's completely possible, you guys, Litecoin could go ballistic and we're not bullish enough. It might not stop here in March. Maybe by the end of March, you're all the way up here at new all-time highs already. I don't know. I really don't know. And I don't want to underestimate this thing. You know what might be easier, what might help us out? This is going to help a lot, I think. Yes, we should do this. Okay, so the average altcoin I think I've projected is to move up about, let's do it right now, okay? By the end of March, I'm expecting the average altcoin to move up at least, am I doing this right? Not there. Okay, I expect the average altcoin to move up at least 160%. Or most likely, Come on now, get that low. I would think the average altcoin moves up to this 1272, which also lines up with that 1886. This is a smaller fib, so you might hit those deeper extensions. I would expect the average altcoin to move up at a minimum of about 200%. So if Litecoin moves up about 227% or 200%, or if it moves up less than 200%, we should be able to compare that, quantify that versus what this chart is, and see if we can make sense out of it there, right? So let's look at Litecoin USD versus others, right? We're going to do that. If this chart looks good, Litecoin's going to be at new all-time highs by the end of March, you guys. That's what we're figuring out right now. Okay, that's what's happening. In case it's not clear, I know I just went with like my brain there. I'm sure it was easy to follow along, but for some people who are new to the space, who might not understand the dynamics or the language at play here, it can seem like a different world. But for anybody that's been in crypto for a little while, or you've been watching the channel for a little while, I'm sure that was pretty easy to follow along, right? Hopefully it was. If not, we're going to explain everything. Okay, so this chart here, what this chart is, it's the Litecoin USD versus others. So it's essentially this chart layered over this chart. Whenever it goes down, that doesn't mean Litecoin's losing value. It just means compared to the average altcoin, altcoins are outperforming Litecoin. When it goes up, that doesn't mean Litecoin's gaining value or altcoins are losing value. That's not what it means. It just means Litecoin's gaining value faster than the average altcoin. And I don't know about you guys, but to me, this kind of looks like a double bottom here. It's an ugly double bottom, albeit it is it's pretty ugly, but this is a rather obscure chart. This looks like a double bottom. This, to me, suggests that Litecoin outperforms the average coin. That's what I'm getting at here, okay? We can't use the RSI. I'm going to pull it up on a different chart just to see if we can get it, okay? But hold on. High to low. I'm not saying that Litecoin returns to new highs this cycle. I'm not saying that for the rest of the cycle, Litecoin outperforms. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. But for this next move, you're above your 236. Anytime you go from a relative high to a relative low, you get above your 236. I am inclined very strongly to believe with a 90% or more degree of certainty that you would at least interact with your 382, if not go higher, and probably go higher, right? We're looking for the 61869, the golden ratio. That's where you found some turbulence back here. It makes sense that you would go there, if not at least the 0.5. It all says 0, and the reason why these levels are 0 is because others is measured in, it's at a $270 billion market cap, while Litecoin's only at $123, so the percentages are just thrown off, right? From the current price to go up to the 382, this would imply that Litecoin outperforms the average coin by 25%. So if the average coin moves up 200% and Litecoin outperforms by 25%, okay, that makes sense why we would see prices at around $400. Beyond everything else that I said, it would make sense. So this right here, this Litecoin versus others chart, it agrees with that at a minimum. Because again, you break above the 236, that tells me with a 90% degree of certainty that you are going to see the 382 at a minimum, if not the golden ratio. And from a price perspective on this chart, it would make much more sense, I think, to retrace all the way back up here. Personally, it looks rather Bart-ish to me, right? Where's Bartman when you need him? Shout out to Bartman Crypto, by the way. Freaking love Bartman, man. He's awesome. Shout out to Mr. Hat too. I've missed you, man. I don't know if you watched the video still or not. There's a slew of comments. It's hard to read through, but I haven't talked to you in a while. I need to write Mr. Hat, man. Let's see. If not the 382, we're going to go up to the golden ratio, which would then imply that Litecoin outperforms the average altcoin by 67 to 80%. So if the average altcoin is going to move up 206% and Litecoin moves up 60 to 80% more than that, that would mean that Litecoin's up at about new all-time highs at the very least, right? It would be at new all-time highs at the very least. Let alone if this thing gets any more explosive, or if this chart goes up any higher, right? If the average altcoin moves up more than 200%, if it moves up more than 300%, that only adds to the bullish case scenario here with Litecoin itself. So I don't know how clear it was, but if you'd like, you can rewind that and try and rewatch it to make sense out of it. But I'm going to just tell you what everything we did was, just to summarize it and end the video here, okay? First off, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you all for being here. Very confidently, I would like to predict that by the end of March, if not maybe at the latest early April, but by the end of this move at the very least, right? You will be at your all-time high area. You will be above $318. I don't think that that's a given maximum anymore. I think this is more of an expected target now. 318 to 413, more of an expectation. Okay, and 772 I would think would be your maximum target. or likely even. I would even say, yes, likely something between the 1272 and the 100 level, which is not, it's not a common thing to do, but that's okay. You know, kind of this phase of growth of movement through this Fibonacci retracement range already is not normal. It's not conventional. So seeing something abnormal where you find resistance in between the 100 level here and the 1272, that's not normal, but maybe that's what you do. And there were a couple things off of this chart that rather suggested that as well. So I like that. I want to finish this video real quick actually doing the others. I want to flip it around and make sure that it looks the same, because whenever I do it this way, it's not in log, and if it for whatever reason looks different, then that could really put a hole in this video. I would have to delete the video and restart it, because I'd be like, guys, I made a video and I thought I was bullish on Litecoin, but I saw some different stuff. No, look at this chart. It's the exact opposite, right? So the other one, whenever it was going up, that meant Litecoin was outperforming. This one, when this is going up, Litecoin's being outperformed by the average coin. When it's going down, Litecoin is outperforming the average coin. It looks much more in this log scale, because we can actually do it in log, right? It looks much more like a BART. To me, there'd be no other explanation than to go all the way down to this area here, right? Or at least to this zone here, which again, if we flip the chart, which we just had it a second ago, that's the golden ratio of this retracement. From a low to a high, it's going to be different than the golden ratio now, right? Because it's different, kind of at the golden ratio, but maybe at the 786 there. Either way, that validates, that looks at least congruent to everything else that we've said, and I'm very confident, you guys. Litecoin's about to see new all-time highs. If not, it's going to get very, very friendly with its current all-time highs within the next 4 to 6 weeks. And that's all I got for you. So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Go Litecoin, go, baby. You're about to hit a moon mission start, ignition, launch. I don't even know what else to say, so I'm going to end it there. Bye-bye.